Peace, everybody. We back, and I got a special guest, Papanosis, and hopefully AJ Pax will
What's good,
come in
everybody?
here. Yeah, and hopefully AJ Pax will come in here or Leafing. I know this might not be their type of show to be on, but you know, this is the show I'm doing today. So I'm gonna try to break down every part of a boxing video game. And today I'm breaking down the creation mode, creation suite. You know, everything that deals with creation. Not only created boxers, create a ring, create create a promoter, create a manager, create a trainer, create creations, create gear. I want the gear to be deep like 2K be having for the boots, stuff like that. But we got Papanosis. Papanosis is the guy on the wish list, the original wish list. He's the wish list. I mean, he's the creation mode guy. And I just have a little smidgen on it, but he's the overall, that's him. Let me see. I don't know if I want to start off the questions first or you just want to freestyle. How you want me to do it?
Hey, let's do whatever, man. I'm down for whatever.
All right, let me get the questions that I have put out. Let me see. I'm doing all this and I ain't even checked to see was my YouTube live stream started. Let me see. Let me see. Come on, YouTube, don't play today. Okay, we good on YouTube. All right, let me get the questions. All right, we're gonna start off the create a boxer discussion guide. All right, death. We're gonna talk about death and personalization. Here's the question: what aspects of a boxer should players be able to customize?
Pretty much everything.
All right.
Honestly,
Everything, yo.
like scars, tattoos, the boxing gear, the logos, the body hair, the more hairstyles, facial hairstyles, mouthpieces, teeth style, eye style, ear style, a whole bunch.
All right. Discuss why visual and style customization matter for immersion, player identity, and replay value.
Absolutely, because you have to give everybody their uniqueness, and not everybody's gonna have a same style. Everybody's gonna have their complete unique style catered to them.
All right. My second question is, how detailed should physical attributes be?
Very detailed, from like the tendencies, from the stats, from the IQ, everything, even the visuals and the body forms, and even if one thing that's not been featured in the boxing game is wrinkles. They should implement that too, and freckles and scars as well. Everything has to be able to be customized, like how it is in like a professional wrestling game. Like it has to be deep like that for a boxing game, and boxing has not yet got a deep customization as of yet.
Yeah. It's explore how physical metrics affect strategy, range, and the feel of the boxer in game. So basically, what it's saying about the physical metrics is talking about the height, the weight, the reach, Wingspan, arm lift, torso, and legs should all be adjustable because they differently affect movement and fighter style.
All the
What
way.
do you think about it?
Definitely all the way.
Okay.
That's great. That's supposed to be there, and I actually had that on my list.
Let me see. Should Let me see. Hold up. All right. Should body types and muscular reflect real life boxing physiology? I'm gonna break it down for you can understand. Highlighting the importance of realism versus stylization and how body type changes gameplay. So that's basically what it's saying. Should body types and muscular physiques reflect real life body physiology?
It should, in a way, kind of like how they did in a few other games I can't mention right now that that slipped out of my head because I'm driving right now. But yeah, if it's like if they want to make it like pure sims like that, then yeah, mu- muscle energy is does you have to have a lot of energy for muscles, and sometimes
Yeah,
the stamina on the muscles are not always there. And you're
yeah.
right about that.
Yeah.
But you can
I'm
have
gonna give
options. They have an option where you could turn that on and turn it off.
yeah. I'm gonna give an example. Someone built like Tyson should feel different from someone built like Mayweather. Muscles should affect speed, stamina, and power. I mean, punching power. That was the example that I was making for that.
Yeah, that's the examples because reason being they're different weight classes. Mayweather is a
Yeah,
welterweight and Tyson's a heavyweight. A welterweight is not going to have the power of a heavyweight at
yeah,
all because the heavyweight division is different because you're dealing with 200 plus pounds and up. There's no limit in heavyweight because all it takes is one punch to end the fight.
yeah. I'm gonna go off cue of this. I mean, of this the questions. I'm gonna ask you something that we had on the list. Height. They should be realistic world heights in a boxing video game. What do you think?
Absolutely. Like I even know that the longest reach for 6'1" boxer in heavyweight and light heavyweight was at 88-inch reach, and that's that Spanish boxer. Um, Isidoro was his name. He had that 88-inch reach because
Yeah,
Sonny Liston had an 84-inch reach for 6'1", and this man had an 88-inch reach for 6'1". So he had 4 more reaches over Sonny Liston, and he
yeah,
was a pretty popular Spanish heavyweight and light heavyweight. It's just he didn't became world champion, nothing like that. He was just a good contender.
yeah. To me, they got to keep in context that in real life there are people that like real world heights and stuff like that. Somebody 6'9", he should be able to be in a boxing video. You should be able to make a guy that's 6'9" or 7 feet tall. It's up to
Absolutely,
you.
and also
Exactly.
7'7" like Manute Bo.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They gotta keep in context with stuff like that. Because people always feel like that's too tall. That is the game ain't gonna look right. It's real life. You gotta find a way
It's
to
real life
beat
for
that
real.
character. Yeah, it's real life.
Exactly. And then there's a
Let me,
boxer that was at 6 foot 6'3" that boxed at cruiserweight and heavyweight named Dalton Daly. He had a 68
yeah,
to 63-inch reach. He has the shortest reach in both cruiserweight and in heavyweight ever.
yeah,
So from like
yeah,
So from like 5'5" all the way to 6'3", the reach cap should be 63 to 88 inch reaches.
Yeah.
No, my bad.
Um.
From 5'5" to 6'8", my bad. Should be that.
Yeah,
From
because you did your
50.
research. Remember, you did your research on each weight class. Where was the limit and stuff like that. And then we got to also look at what's modern day times. Because look at Fandora. Fandora fighting in a weight class. Technically, everybody say he shouldn't be in because of his height.
Yeah, Fundora, he's 6'7", and then
Yeah.
there's another guy besides Fundora who's in this boxing league called Redneck Brawl. A guy named Country Boot Gang. He's taller than Fundora by 2 inches. He's 6'9" at middleweight.
Yeah.
6'9",
So,
and they call him President Snow Bunny. I want to be able to make a guy like him in the game.
Yeah. Because a lot of this stuff, because what they don't realize, when people want to create all the characters that they want to create, a lot of it's not for online. People get scared when they think of stuff like that. No, we want our stuff like career modes and stuff like that. We don't care about, what y'all want online and stuff like that. Stop holding fan bases back that can help a game be successful. Let me see. Should facial customization be realistic or stylized?
Absolutely. And customization, what I don't like about what they did with the customization on Undisputed, they have a stats cap for 85 overall, which, in Fight Night Champion, you could have a guy that's a created character that's overall 90-something or a guy all the way maxed out and stuff like that. And people made guys like that at those weight classes with tall or being super short and whatever. However, they should allow people to have good stats on customization. I don't like how the way Undisputed did customization. I don't like how the way they made it so limited that you can only make 25 boxers.
Yeah, that's
especially
crazy.
It's a PS5 game. And it's not an Xbox 360 game where you can actually have 74 created boxers like in Fight Night Champions, which I felt like it should be 100 or unlimited.
Yeah.
Honestly. And I didn't like the whole idea of the 25 slots in Undisputed. It's like they really dropped the ball with the customizations. And also another reason why they dropped the ball on that is because of that TP freaking guy that banned me for the customizations list. And that was freaking pretty sad as hell. I got banned for freaking customization. I didn't even freaking put a fucking naked picture of a bitch or nothing like that. All I just wanted was fresh customization.
They knew we was connected in some type of way, and they didn't want me to have a bigger voice. Anybody that agreed with me, they start monitoring. They didn't like that.
That's freaking terrible. At least EA, we actually had a voice. Not like this Discord bullshit where we don't really have a voice.
That's what I'm telling. Remember how you remember how we used to talk in there? I used to tell them I ain't like something. They didn't get mad and banned us or none of that.
Exactly.
Okay, with the facial customization. All right. Discuss balancing realistic aesthetics for immersion with fun or creative style options.
You should be able to make everybody from anything, real life, or even from like video games like Contender, Ready to Rumble Boxing, or even like boxers that didn't even make it into the game as well. You should be able to be unlimited in customizations all the way around across the board. And you should be able to if you're going to make like a Hasim Rahman, you actually have to have his scars actually installed on his face in order to make him on point and spot on in the game.
Yeah.
Because without his scars, it's like it's nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I see Rockman does have a big old scar on the right side of his face.
Yeah. You doing? Should fighting styles be
And you should be able to
defined
have
at
scars on the bodies
creation?
too.
Yeah. Should fighting styles be defined at creation? And I'm gonna explain it to you. Explore how fighting styles should link to animations, AI behavior, and stats for death.
It should all apply, and you should be able to choose your own punch style. And every individual punch, even when you're moving, even when you're swinging, even when you're backing up, you should have a different punch style for that. Kind of like how 2K, you have a different shooting style from like different movements and a different dunking style from different movements or straight up. You should have those options for a boxing game. Like
Yeah.
even signature punch moves that's been missing since Fight Night Round 3. That's one thing that's been missing, like big time. You could actually, but how the way they should do signature punch moves, they should have one for like close range and one for like mid range for both head and for body as well to give a more diverse package of the customization of the fighter or of the fighter style. Like
Yeah, I
for a
agree.
mid range signature punch move, like the Dempsey roll, you could use that. Or like for like a close range, you could use the super tight hook from Jeff Lacey kind of deal. Or mid range, you could do the Look Mom No Hands or the Rooster leaping hook of Roy Jones as well. And the Pac-Man straight to the body is another one. And like almost close range, the check hook from Mayweather. Be implemented in there as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I want to pick their style,
And
counterpunch, brawl, swarmer, or hybrid, or tweak habits. See, you could put habits in the game. In this day and age,
yeah,
everything that you see in real life can be put in the game. It can be programmed in the game. Yeah, the habits, like mannerisms and all that of a boxer. Let
exactly.
me see.
Like when you mentioned mannerisms, like Andrew Galata, he fights extremely dirty.
Yeah.
That's one mannerism right there. And like
Yeah.
an Andre Ward who likes to fight hitting and clinching and hit in the clinch like him and Hopkins.
Yeah.
That's another
Yeah.
one.
Both of them do that. Yeah, they both do that. Yeah.
They should bring back clinching in the game, even though they're not gonna even bring it back, in my humble opinion. And
Yeah,
they
I
should
don't.
allow
They're not.
fighting in the clinch.
Yeah, they're not doing that, and they probably gonna wait till undisputed too. But my thing is, everybody gonna look at the way they treating this game. They they, they might not buy the game at first. Let me
Yeah,
see. All right, we're gonna talk about career progression and versions. Question one: should players be able to create multiple versions of the same boxer for different career stages, including amateur career versions?
of course
Yeah.
they should. That's
Yeah,
for sure. Should be able to do that.
yeah. Because remember we was talking about something like that. Like we should have like a queue, like a thing that have like different versions of the boxer, and he had different gear and stuff on. We could pick them from there, like
Yeah,
different versions. Man, we said that idea years
yeah. When
ago,
you select
decades.
him, it'll have a database like which version you
Yeah,
want to choose. This version, this version. Undisputed failed to capitalize on that because what happened was
they did.
like I didn't like how they made Shannon Briggs the young version of his body, but wearing like
Yeah,
you know the 90s attire plus the 2000s attire with the 90s body. I'm like, that's not what it's. He's not gonna have that type of body for like the 2000s and 2010s attires, because that's supposed to be a different version. Because the 2000 version of Briggs, he's supposed to be a bigger set and more durable, and a little bit more slower. Because the younger, he was a lot faster. But but like in the 2005 Lakovic, he was more slower. That should have been version 2. It should have been second version with Bam, and you could have that second version, and you could change up his hairstyle if you want him to have the braided up dreads, or you could make him bald.
Yeah, because Shannon talked. We talked about this before they brought him on board, and he said he wanted 3 versions of himself, and I agreed because I made a post and I put 3 different versions of Shannon Briggs, and he's like, yeah. He said I want the Brooklyn Yeti, I want the Regulator, and he said, Shannon the Cannon. See, a lot of people don't know the Regulator. I know the Regulator. That's from his amateur days when we was boxing in the amateurs. We used to call him the Regulator.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, he was the Regulator. I know that he also went by Old Fresh before his comeback, before he hated the Brownsville Yeti.
Yeah. Let me see. I want to see a boxer's entire journey: amateur beginnings, early pro fights, prime and late career decline. Amateur versions should feel distinct with different skills, experience, and sometimes even body types, reflecting a real boxer's growth. And how including amateur stages at realism lets fans simulate the full career arc and creates narrative depth. It can also influence stats, styles, development, and progression into the professional ranks. All right.
Yeah, they should have all that in there, honestly. Like, okay, like when you mentioned that, you remember like how Claimer had his how the way he was presenting his game, like everybody has their own storyline that you pull up on.
Yeah.
And they have like alternative storylines and stuff like that. That should be also implemented into the game as well.
Yeah.
And what I've been doing lately with my customized characters is I've been doing little AI videos of them, and I'm hopefully when I get me a new PC, I'm gonna actually get the Unreal Engine and whatnot, and start making it happen, because I already started getting like the code scripts for the wrestling game that I want to make, and I'm gonna do the same thing with the boxing games and the MMA games. I want to be able to make a badass combat sport game to make it like really, really good. And I got some things I've been cooking up lately, man. You know, they're coming pretty soon, but the AI stuff's gonna be fresh. That I can tell you. Gotta be on the lookout for all the characters I'm about to bring.
Yeah. Let me read. I'm trying to read the YouTube chat. I hear what you're saying. Boxing Lounge said he agreed with what we saying. What about the hematoma that Holyfield gave Rockman? That big
that's
knot
part
he
of
had
the
on
swelling.
there.
Yeah, that's supposed to be in the swelling side. Like if your swelling is like at 55, that hematoma look like that, like a Hasim Rahman or a Fernando Vargas should be showing in the video game.
Yeah,
because their swelling is at 55 because Fernando Vargas swelled like that twice over when he fought Mosley.
Yeah. Boxing Lounge
that
said, "Tell us more." Yeah. Boxing Lounge said, "Tell us more about round 3. Special punches in round 3. I would like to see hitting and holding on the ref blind side." Yeah, that I think Steel City had that early on. See, they took a lot of things out, and I think it's Will, 100% Will. Let me see.
Yeah, it was Will, the Rackzilla, the guy who hated on our freaking
Yep.
ultimate wish list and
Yeah, he
freaking replaced
did.
it with that silly ass Andre Bishop storyline. For those of y'all that don't know,
Yeah,
that's on the chat on YouTube or listening on the show, I'm letting y'all know that we the OGs. We had to walk in order for these content creators to run respectfully. And
yep.
on top of that, when we presented the best wish list ever when round 4 hit, we were supposed to have that on champion, and they utilized Audrey Bishop's
3%.
storyline that wasted all the resources, and they only used
Yep.
only 2% of our wishes. It's like 2% milk,
Yep.
and
Exactly.
the rest is just rancid water, and that's what it is.
Yep. He wanted but Boxer Lounge want to hear more about the I would like to he want to know more about the special punches in round 3. If you can expand on it.
Oh, and Fight Night round 3. Oh,
Yeah.
the one punch I really liked was from Manny Pacquiao, like the Pac-Man punch, which is he would just fake like he's gonna hit to the body, and then he just comes a leaping forward power straight right hand to the face. But then when you do the body version, it's just a big straight to the body without doing the pump fake. And Winky Wright, another one of his I liked is that he will lean back and then comes big with his straight hand, and he'll do the same thing on the body. And James Toney had a nice signature punch move, which is the lights out, which he would throw his big right hook from all the way from God knows where, and he did the same to the body. Another one is though where Floyd Patterson does the lunging uppercut that was not exclusive. It was only exclusive for him and Calvin Brock. That lunging jumping uppercut. It was only exclusive for both Calvin Brock and Floyd Patterson, from what I remember. But it wasn't available for customizations. And then the Rooster Punch from Roy Jones Jr., which is called the signature punch move is called Junior, and that's the one that he did on James Toney in that fight. Another one is the Golden Boy Punch, where he waves at you with his lead hand, and then he comes with a quick right hook, quick right short looping hook right to your grill. That's another one. And also Sugar Ray's wind up uppercut was also there as well.
Yeah.
For both head and the body. Jermaine Taylor's Bad Intentions Punch.
Yeah.
Where he does the Bad Intentions pose, and then he comes with his big straight. That's another one too. And another one is that double pump uppercut that Bernard Hopkins does. There was a lot of signature punches that was fresh in Fight Night Round 3. A lot of them.
Remember we gave them a list of, we did some research on boxers from every era, and we was giving them signature punches and stuff. Somebody said,
oh, and I forgot to mention while I'm on here, sorry to interject. There's two more I forgot to mention. The smoking left hook from Joe Frazier and the sting like a bee from Ali.
Yeah.
Because the sting like a bee from Ali was the most fucking explosive punch in Fight Night Round 3.
Yeah.
But as far as the punch styles from every year, let's get to that.
Yeah. Boxing Lounge is saying that the special punches need to be set up as it takes a moment to execute. Easy to counter. No, by you saying that, you going about, we talking about how they should be in the game, not how they are in games. You know, a lot of games did it wrong.
Yeah,
but we're talking about the way they should be. Because
exactly.
like when Jack Dempsey did the Susie Q, he didn't have to set that up. He just did it. Let me see.
Yep. Marciano do the Suzy Q, and I know that Joe Louis did the Suzy A and the Suzy Q.
Yeah. Let me see. Boxing Lounge said, haymakers are more reliable in my experience. You said in your
Nah,
experience,
if you're talking about like the haymaker system from round 2, nah, that was wacky as hell.
He must be talking about Undisputed.
Nah, the haymaker stuff is not that great. I'm not too big of a fan of the haymakers, but what I do like is the parries and the 6-sided blocking that round 3 had. But it looked like Claimer did the parries correctly.
Yeah, he went more in depth and with the even with the blocking. I wonder did he get that from me?
Yeah.
Because when they say 6-axis blockings, it's actually more points on your body to block. Let me see.
Exactly, and Undisputed is missing that.
It is. It's like they intentionally just stopped adding stuff to the game. It's like they just took things out, and they trying to let us blame other people because I remember Ash said they keep saying that he's too overambitious. He want too much in the game. You should save some of them ideas. Yeah. Don't that sound familiar? Remember when we gave Brizzle the wish list? They said this enough for 3 games. We said no, we want that in the next game. We wanted that in Fight Night Champion. Yeah,
and I remember we told Brizzle that, and remember the thing with the 4 attires. We also wanted that on every boxer.
Yeah. What's called said Boxing Lounge said he told me to tell you well, since you're not looking at YouTube, he said pose guess I am a monster at round 3. Look me up. You don't even play round 3 no more, do you? You don't even think about them games, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I play round 3 every once in the blue moon because I got my Xbox. I got my my hard drive back and shit for my Xbox 360. But I don't think the online servers are working anymore on Fight Night Round 3. Honestly, I don't know if the online service is working for Fight Night Round 3 anymore. Because remember, the developer for that is EA Chicago, which they got shut down not too long ago after the Fight Night Vendetta, which is Death Jam Icon.
Yeah. Mike Adams said, I met Shannon Briggs once. He said 3 words to me. Let's go, champ.
I met Shannon Briggs before too, back in 2007 when I was a delivery boy for Robin Stuckey as delivering furniture and shit. I met him through when I was working with a guy named Jeff, who kind of looked like Keith Sweat on crack, but he was real cool people. And Shannon Briggs actually wanted me and Jeff to hang out with him at the Hard Rock in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And he tipped us like $20 each.
Yeah. I'm trying to bump into him. That dude still owe me a T-shirt. No, he owed me a photo, autographed photo. Remember, I've been talking about that autographed photo for decades. He said,
I know.
He made me mad. He made me mad because he said, man, you don't need no autographed photo. You know me. That don't mean nothing. You tell somebody, hey, I know Shannon Briggs. You don't know Shannon Briggs. But if I had a picture, I could show them. Yeah. Let me see. Oh, yo, this I'm glad you're here. Remember I brought Steve Cunningham and the Fight Night forums?
Yeah.
And everybody was disrespecting
I do remember when you brought Cunningham. Yeah, they did this to him.
Yeah, I was like, yo.
Yeah, I remember when you got Steve Cunningham on there. I know.
What'd you say?
You did a lot, dude. A lot of people need to give you credit for it. You did a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people be thinking I'd be lying and stuff. Like, no, I used to bring boxes in there. Like when I had that interview with Jeff Mayweather.
Yeah, I remember that
Yeah,
interview too. I was in that one.
yeah.
And I remember Country Boy asked a question to Jeff Mayweather. What would you do if you? How would you train on Tommy Morrison and whatever? And he said that, man, I don't want to train no goddamn Tommy Morrison.
Yeah, that joke, every conversation is Tommy Morrison. He used to always bring up Tommy Morrison and everything. I'm like, yo, man, we ain't talking about
Hey,
Tommy Morrison. He bring him up. Let me see. And
but
he
Country
met
Boy's
him
really, really
too.
cool people, man.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
really
I know.
cool.
He met
That's
him.
my guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my guy too,
Yo,
man.
he
Country
came to
Boy's real
stay there.
cool
He
people,
came to
man.
stay with Country Boy. Country Boy invited them to stay with him in Florida. I mean in Miami. No, Hawaii. Yeah, because Country Boy live in Hawaii. And
Yeah, because I'm from
he
Miami,
came
and
in.
you know.
Yeah. Let me see. I got some more questions. Should gear and attire be tied to specific fights or eras?
Depending on the boxer that like let's say an old school boxer like James A. Jeffries, where he wears draws, you know, that's what he wore back in the day to the ring. Draws
Yeah.
and some boxing gloves and some loafers.
Yeah.
They should have
Yes.
like I said, they should have all styles of boxing attire plus you should be able to make people from like Ready to Rumble, Contender Series, or anybody to be at that.
Yeah.
Honestly, or even make you know, if you're able to make anybody you want with how the way the customization is supposed to be, people will be making Balrog from Street Fighter to be on the community creations.
Yeah. Let me see. Fighters wore different gear in big fights or during different career periods.
How you doing?
It add realism and immersion.
Again?
You heard what I said?
No, say that again. Sorry, I was buying something.
Oh. Boxers wore different gear in different fights or different career periods. It adds realism and immersion. That was my answer to the question, but it said it explores the value of historical authenticity and visual storytelling. Yeah, let me see.
Exactly.
All right, I'm gonna read you.
Not only the attires, but like the hairstyles, because you know sometimes people, sometimes people like in different eras they start losing their hair or they grow bald or whatever the case may be, or they start graying out. That's part of it as well.
Yeah, that's true. Let's not get on the hairstyles yet. You know that's a big topic. Would a gear
cue? Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, we talked about this, but would a gear queue system be useful? And what I mean by that is convenience features that maintain immersion without repetitive menus. It's talking about you got pre-select outfits, gloves, shorts, boots for upcoming fights. Their saves. You know, like in the say you got 3 versions of a character on the screen, and you get to pick their outfits or their gear from the 3 versions on the screen. You know, stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, each 3 versions. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Each 3 versions of that fighter from different eras should all have 4 attires each.
Yeah. Yeah.
They all should have it because I like the boxing games to be more like how the wrestling games are in terms of presentation, quality, and customizations. They should have 4 times each. We're ending 2025 and getting into 2026. There should be no excuse for that. And you know what also is missing? Custom soundtracks.
Yeah, we ain't gonna get that because they're gonna have to worry about the copyright. But you know this game
Man, fuck all
called
that.
Fight Night Forever. They got
Yeah, it's a modded game. I saw it before, like on YouTube.
yeah, they got soundtracks on. I was like, y'all getting done. And the guy trying to come at me sideways. I said, yo, I know people at EA. I literally know people at EA. So you trying to come at me for some stupidity? I was like, yo, people be think I be capping when I be saying I know people at EA. Let me see. Should historical legacy boxes be faithfully recreated? And what I mean by like highlight
Absolutely.
fans, all right, highlight fan interest in legacy recreations and historical simulation. It can highlight that, and then it say, I want to recreate legends like Ali, Tyson, or Chavez, or track their evolution over time.
Absolutely. They should. You should be able to create. If they're not in the game, you should be able to create them.
Yeah,
But if they're in the game, they should have every era of them right out the gate.
yeah. And this is
And
the
as far as the ones
stupidity
that didn't make it, they should get made.
yeah.
Say again?
This the stupidity. This the stupidity that still City has. They don't realize like offline modes and creation modes, they actually keep a game alive. You know, when your creation mode dies,
Exactly.
that means the game's gonna die. And that's not like me just being biased saying that. It's true. If you don't have a good creation mode, your game is not gonna last that long. And
Exactly.
some people only thinking about one part of the game, competition part. Everybody don't want no competition part. You know, I know it's fans that you know it's a lot of fans, but they don't outnumber. People think that they looking at every online game and they compressing it into sports games. Not everybody plays games online. Everybody they like their private time. They like creating things and doing things. Even though you can bring stuff online, but people like the story modes and they just like what they can do offline without people interrupting their fun. They want to create their own worlds, basically.
Exactly.
Let me
And at
read
least give them boys the option to have
exactly.
a community creations to upload characters that they didn't make in the game so people could download them.
Exactly. That was huge. That was huge in the old Fight Night games. Let me see. Boxing Allowance says service are dead since 2011. I got round 3 on Parsec Gaming. Anyone can get the smoke. um, he said EA killed online round 3 and 4 same time in 2011 for Fight Night champion.
Damn.
Salute Lamont Davis. I don't know
That
if
boy off the
I'm
chain.
saluted. What'd you say?
I was like, that man's off the chain. He wildin'.
All right, let me finish reading these questions. We on this mode it's the realism and metrics. All right. Should all physical measurements affect gameplay? That sounds like something we read already. I think we had a similar question, but should all physical measurements affect gameplay? Like reach, height, arm length, should change how punch land and how you control the distance. All right, it's just reworded, but it's basically kind of the same question. You know, should reach, height, and arm
Yes.
length. Yeah.
Depending on also the stats of that fighter as well. Because,
Yeah.
if they're fast and they have long reach and you're able to get past their jab and you're able to go on the inside, they're not going to be able to fight that well on the inside. Unless they're like a
Yeah.
Paul Williams or a Brian Jennings type of fighter. with long ass reach and that can fight well on the inside as well.
Yeah, Tommy Hearns.
Not many people with long arms can fight. Yeah, not many tall fighters with long reach fight very well on the inside, except for guys like Paul Williams, Brian Jennings, and Riddick Bowe.
Yeah, that's true.
Those are the guys that actually that can fight like that.
Yeah. Here goes something that you're gonna like. We both gonna like. How much should stats? Oh, go ahead. What you were saying?
I said I want to hear.
All right. How much should stats influence performance?
That should influence the performance, but then when you're throwing a bunch of missed punches, through time you're gonna get tired. And honestly, like me, I don't like to make people maxed out because when I make my characters, I make them how the way they're supposed to be made, with their actual stats and all that stuff. Because nobody's perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just make them like that. You can do all that maxed out shit if you want, but me, when I was doing the wrestling games like WWE 2K, I remember I'd fight all these basic looking maxed out wrestlers, and I'd be having like a fresh ass looking wrestler that's like an overall 85 or 88 that would beat these maxed out wrestlers like nothing, and they would try to ban me because I actually had a guy that was dressed up like an ISIS wrestler, you know, because that's like his gimmick, and they try to ban me. And then when I had a hardcore gay wrestler on SmackDown vs. Raw series, he was a sensation. I actually almost won the online world title, and I lost to a guy named Undertaker 420, who made Undertaker with the purple gloves. And every time that I pulled up the gay wrestler that I had, everybody would be running for the hills because they already knew about him. But the moment I wrestled with and he didn't have all max out stats or nothing neither. He had like an overall 84, but it's just the way how he wrestled was very provocative in a way where he just makes a highlight reel out of you. But with the ISIS wrestler, they almost banned me for him. It was one of those guys that had the maxed out wrestler that looked basic as hell, like a basic ass AJ Styles, but with no freaking flash, no nothing, just basic looking, with just a pair of black tights and red boots and just blue elbow pads, and nothing spectacular about him look wise or nothing like that. And I get damn near close to being banned for whipping that guy's ass like nothing.
All right. My answer is every stat should matter. A short fighter with long arms fight different than a tall fighter with short reach. Gameplay balance and the need for stats to feel meaningful. It's like telling me to discuss that, but you answered that already. Should biomechanics constraints exist? I'm gonna tell you what it means. No unrealistic combinations. A 5'6" boxer can't have 8-foot arms. Highlight how realism constraints prevent immersion breaking design.
Well, for a guy who's 6'5", the longest reach that a 6'5" fighter should have is 88-inch reaches.
Yeah,
that's the longest for like a heavyweight, and for the shortest it should be like 72.
Yeah.
Because Chuck Wemper was about 6'5", and he had a 74-inch reach. Or 72. No, he had a 72-inch reach at 6'5", so he had the shortest reach at his height.
Yeah.
And the longest reach for 6'5" should be 88-inch reaches. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, but nobody should be 5'6" with 8-foot arms. that might be too long. I gotta do my research again. but that's weird.
Well,
8 foot long.
the longest reach for a guy who was like 5'5" was the white Muhammad Kawi. He had a 74-inch reach for a guy who was 5'5".
Yeah.
And then there was a female boxer that was actually like 5'4" that had a 74-inch reach.
Wow.
Yeah, I forgot her name because I'm not in front of my list at the moment. But her reach is super long.
Oh. All right. Should injuries or stamina degradation affect performance?
Oh, injuries? Yeah, it should affect the performance, but it shouldn't be. Oh, with stamina?
Like, should injuries or
if
stamina
you're injured,
affect performance?
Yeah, injuries and stamina can affect performance, because when you are low on stamina, it affects your performance of throwing combinations or throwing harder punches and stuff like that because you're gassed out. But with injuries, it's like either your jaw's broken or your hands are broken or your ribs is broken or your nose is broken.
Yeah.
That should be an effect, like how Kramer has it in his game.
Yeah. Yeah. Injuries and wear and tear should impact mobility, punching power, and fighting outcomes. Long-term career realism and dynamic fight difficulty. Yeah, that's all should be in the game. And that's crazy that they don't do their research. Yeah, that's all be in the game. Yeah. All right. Yeah. This section is fighting styles and AI. Should creation define fighting tendencies? You want me to break it down? What I mean by that?
You have to. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
All right. It's a creation styles. No, should creation style define fighting tendencies? You should choose punching priorities, defensive habits, and aggression levels. Explore how a player choice and style impacts in-game strategy and engagement. You understand what I was saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
Depending on your style, you should have a set of tendencies that when you're fighting them as a computer, they do their thing, like how you described in that one show from way back in the days. Like if you fight like Evander Holyfield, he actually will do his thing like an Evander Holyfield, that he's an all-around fighter type of deal. If you fight a guy that's like an Amir Khan, his chin's going to be like really, really wobbly and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it seemed like Amir Khan his chin after he started getting cracked a couple of times.
Yeah,
because I didn't never really see him in the Olympics and stuff getting hurt like that. Let me see. Steel City Boxing said they should add training modes. You should be able to hit the pads from different camera angles, jump rope, speed bag, heavy bag, common sense boxing stuff. They really should. Yep,
that's really been missing since Fight Night Round 3 and Fight Night Round 2 and Fight Night 2004. That's been missing since then.
Yeah, yep, it really has. Yo, guess who popped up like Candyman?
Who?
Country Boy.
Oh snap! Country Boy popped up. Nice.
Yeah, he in the chat. What's up, Country Boy? He said Prescott exposed Khan chin. No, once Prescott cracked the chin, that was it.
Prescott was a devastating puncher too.
Yeah.
And he folded Khan like a spear.
Amir Khan depended on his offense, not his defense. Just the same thing like Roy Jones. Roy Jones' defense was his offense. And once Roy Jones went up and came back down, he put himself in a bad predicament.
True,
everybody start cracking
in a
the
way,
chin.
but you know what really messed up Roy Jones Jr. when he tried to become
What?
a rapper, because I felt like he lost focus when he's trying to start rapping.
Yeah, but Roy been fighting so long,
humble-
he could do stuff in his sleep. I don't think it was him being
I know.
unfocused, because you can't, because he could do stuff like, that's what they say, when you got that muscle memory. But the thing was, when he went up and came back down, he just couldn't do it. Yeah, he just couldn't do it.
Yeah,
Let me see.
to a degree that's true for real, because I felt like he lost to Tarver in that first fight, and he got a
did?
trap decision. But then yeah. Because if you ever watched the first fight with him and Tarver, he ended up getting the decision, and the whole crowd chanted bullshit. And I remember when I watched 106 in Park, the following day, AJ was talking about, I couldn't believe that that Roy wasn't fighting that much. He wasn't even throwing as much punches like he was supposed to, and or something like that.
Mm.
And I was like, damn. And you have
Yeah,
people from like a hip hop talk show talking about that. And it's like, damn. And in my opinion, around that time, I felt like after he beat John Ruiz, he should have just retired.
Yeah, I don't think he should have went up and came back down. That was a bad look.
He
to
should
go
have
up
just
and then come
retired
back down.
completely.
Yup. But that's the hardest thing for
He should have just retired right after that. For real.
Let me see. Should AI adapt to fighting styles?
AI adapt to fighting styles?
Yeah.
Depending on the person's IQ and their focus. Because not everybody's going to be able to adapt, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Not everybody's going to be able to adapt like Floyd Mayweather or like Terrence Crawford or like Sugar Ray Robinson to be able to adapt to the styles, or even Rocky Marciano.
Yeah, that's why boxers should have IQs. All boxers should have some type of IQ, like real life.
Yep, that's why I had that focus stat from a long time ago.
Yeah. And my answer to that question is definitely, if my boxer is a swarmer, opponents should react differently than against a counterpuncher. That's basically, it's true, because if you're acting, because to me, a counterpuncher, when somebody counterpunch you, that's a punch that you didn't expect. A lot of people don't know that. When you get hit by a counter punch, you ain't expect that punch, unless they try to hit you with 3 counter punches back to back. But you ain't expect that punch that they hit you with from a counter. I was a counter puncher sometimes in my fights. Let me see. Should decision making be fine tunable? And let me explain that. I want control over punch selection priorities, defensive patterns, and timing. Highlight the values of deeper customization for serious fans. So what's your thoughts on that?
Well, the highlights of deeper customizations for the fans?
No, I'm going to read it
What's
again.
my thoughts on it? Sorry.
Where was I at? All right. Should decision making be fine tunable? I want control over punch selection, priorities, defensive patterns, and timing. I want to highlight the value of deeper customization for serious fans. What's your thoughts?
In terms of like the whole style of the character you're talking about?
Yeah, Because they're
Or
saying
just
you want
the
to.
decision in the fight?
No, it's talking about like should decision making like be fine tuned? Well, like you decide on how your fighter actually fight. His priorities, like you can select his priorities, his defensive patterns, and his timing. Like if you creating a character, all these things, you're building them. Like I want my character to have this selection of punches that he throw. That he might throw other punches, but there's like certain punches that he's gonna throw in that fight, dedicatedly. And then he gonna his defensive patterns. You can control his defensive patterns. Maybe he might do the Roy Jones behind the chicken move. He might do Floyd Mayweather, stuff like that, or his punch timing. Because some people throw punches off
Yeah, all that
off
with
with no
implemented.
rhythm on it. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
all that should be implemented for real. With what's it called that's why we had the tendencies. Remember, the tendencies
Yeah.
actually have you be able to do your thing like that.
Yeah.
That's
Sure. Go ahead.
and the
You
tendencies
go
is
ahead.
a good idea too.
Yeah. I hate that they only put like a third of what we wanted.
Yeah, or a fraction
Yeah.
at best, a
Your
small
facts.
fraction.
Yeah. Should fighting animations be tied to style? I say
Um,
yes.
I did like how the way where you have like a different stance. You could choose your own stance and then choose your own punch style, like in the Fight
Yeah.
Night series. But like in Undisputed, if you choose one stance, it's tied to that stance is tied just to that punch. That stance is tied to that punch style. It's
Yeah.
not like you could choose different punch styles off of that stance. So it kind of takes
Yeah.
away from you choosing your own moveset in a sense of way. And then when I think who was it? AJJ, the guy that be on your show,
Oh
when
yeah.
you're talking
AJ
about that
Fact.
tier stuff, um they have that tier list thing and you'll see Undisputed and your EA Sports you'll see 4 and 5 and that tier setting for the customizations, it's super limited. I do not recommend it due to the fact that you're
Exactly.
not allowed to choose your own stats or your own moves. You're only
Yup.
tailored to what they give to you, and that's it. It's like, oh, this is like WWF Warzone. We're stuck on our PS1 ways, so that's just what it is. You only can have Stone Cold Steve Austin's moves or Shawn Michaels' moves, and that's all you have.
Yeah.
You should be able to choose whatever you want on your character to make that character unique. It shouldn't be limited. We're not at a limited age when technology has already advanced a whole lot in terms of graphics,
Exactly.
in terms of visuals, in terms of the gameplay aspect, all that, the whole nine. It should not
Yeah.
be limited. There's no room or excuse for being limited, respectfully.
Yeah. Facts. All right. We're talking about offline versus online integration. Question: should the full create a boxer suite be available offline?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. My answer
Absolutely.
is off. My answer is yes. Offline should be given total freedom to experiment, test fighters, and tweak everything. Offline, you should have freedom of it's no holdback. If you want to make 100 boxer, that's on you. If his ratings is 100, or we should be able in this day and age to make as many boxes as we want, unlimited.
Exactly. Yeah, unlimited is even better for me. The same thing that applies with the arenas and the belts
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that stuff.
yeah, yeah,
because like there's gonna be people that want to create those special WBC belts, the Aztec ones, the Kazakh belt, the one that they did for the Triple G and Canelo fight, and other different versions like the Cinco de Mayo belt, the Day of the Dead belt, and stuff like that. Like boxing games need to take into consideration how the way WWE 2K does the create arena and create a belt and implement it into a boxing game. And each belt that you make will automatically have a record system and how many defenses and how long you held the title. And whenever you lose it and somebody else becomes champion, it actually it built a database off of that belt and it relations back to that person, back to the fighter that won it or to the other fighter that won it and all that good stuff. And they should even give you a full breakdown of who they defended it against and all that stuff. It should be a full-blown database. Like WrestleMania No Mercy had that.
Exactly.
And that's an N64 game, by the way. N64 game had that.
Yeah. Country Boy said,
and they'll tell you the time that you were beaten.
Country Boy said Marcellus Brown was 7-1 and Value V was 7-2. And he said they need to.
And
he said what?
And also, Gojira Mitu is 7-4, and he had 100-inch reach. And Purgatory was 7-2 with a 94-inch reach, and Manute Bo was 7-7 with a 102-inch reach.
That.
And that should be implemented into the game.
It should. He said, Country Boy said they need
the heaviest. The heaviest guy was Frank Finnegan, who was 464 pounds.
Wow.
And he'll
Country Boy said, Country Boy said they need to separate online and offline gameplay. They have, we was talking about that earlier, Country Boy.
Yeah, that's true. That is
I'm
true
on Twitch
because online.
No, go ahead. I was talking to somebody. My fault.
No, my bad. I said that online should be different from offline, but you were mentioning something about Twitch. What was it you mentioned about Twitch right now?
No, somebody was asking me was I on Twitch. Yeah, I'm on Twitch, but I don't broadcast from Twitch. Yeah, I'm on Twitch. I'm on Kick. I'm on everything. I'm on TikTok. Everything. Nice. Yeah. So I was somebody asked me that. All right, let me see. And my answer to should the full Creative Boxer suite be available to offline? My answer is offline should give total freedom to experiment, test fighters, and tweak everything. Yeah, I read that. All right. My next question is, should online modes have contract agreement systems? And my answer to that, so you can understand what it means, I say yes. Some restrictions are needed to prevent overpowered custom boxes from ruining the competitive matches. There should be some fairness and balance in online competition when it comes to creative characters. If we had a contract system, to me, it makes sense because when I say contract system, it sounds more like a boxing instead of just, y'all just say we just not gonna have this on the game. What's your thoughts?
It should be implemented like that too. So that way you don't have to, for those that don't want to fight a max out creative guy and stuff like that. But it also needs to be implemented too. That's been missing since Fight Night Round 3 and Champions. That you're able to disable disqualifications and ring stoppages
Yeah.
And like I remember, like I actually had a mode in Fight Night Round 3 where we actually have a federation that was separate. That it was that everything was anything goes in that league. Headbutts, elbows, low blows, backhands, and knees, and you
Yeah.
wouldn't get penalized for it. That's how I like to do, like with my with my leagues, because I'm kind of comical with myself because I have like different things going on. You know what I'm saying? I have one that's
Yeah.
dedicated to the pure boxing rules. I have another league that's dedicated just to extreme boxing. Well, I had my version of Dirty Boxing before Dirty Boxing even came out.
Hmm.
And also, they should have game modes like, the hard hits mode, like I was in Fight Night Round 3, where you fight with
Yeah.
no time limit each round, and you could get rocked so many times and don't even get knocked down, and you still keep fighting. And when your whole energy is completely out, and then you finally get knocked down and you're not able to get up, that means that you lost in one round, even though the round took forever, because it was very competitive and whatnot. But then again, it could go 12 to 15 rounds, and the flash knockdowns count as the round being over if you're able to get up from a flash knockdown. I
Yeah.
love that hard hits mode so much, man. And they should also implement dirty boxing in there, bare knuckle mode, round robin mode, team battle mode. They should implement a lot of stuff in the boxing game nowadays, the boxing modes.
Should players be able to share boxes online? My answer is yes, with safeguards. Cosmetic sharing should be free, but extreme stats should be limited online.
Yeah, for real.
Um,
It should kind of be limited in a way. Kind of.
yeah, because you don't want everything like over the top, unless it's you agree to it, like we were saying earlier. Um,
Yeah, if you
should
agree to it.
all
But also
okay,
is like I like to add to that. Like if you're able to download them, you should be able to edit their stats when you have them downloaded into your console and
yeah,
have it the way how you want it.
yeah, facts. Like you can make adjustments to it. That you seen something in the character,
Absolutely.
but they didn't do it right. Let me see. Should online tournaments enforce rule sets?
They should, but I would like to do an online tournament where you'll have no rules like that dirty boxing type of thing,
Yeah, yeah.
because I want to see
Let me.
how that's gonna go online.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, my answers is yes. Weight classes, stats limits, and seasonal restrictions keep competition fair. But like you said, there should be an option agreement. That goes back to my agreement, my contract agreement system. All right, here goes some of the stuff that you're gonna
For
really
real.
like. This part of the question is gear, cosmetics, and unlockables. Should gear be customizable individually? And what I mean by that is gloves, shorts, shoes, hand wraps, headgear, all individually, so I can recreate real fights or invent my own. What you think?
I actually covered that in my ultimate cab wish list. Like you should change the color
Yeah,
of the wrist tape, the gloves, add two different type of glove styles, and also the logo creator. Like let's say if Grant didn't make it into the game, you can actually create the Grant logo and upload it into the community creations and download the logo and put it on to your created boxer. Your created logos should also be implemented in the boxing game too, like in WWE 2K.
yeah. Um, Should
And
special
every
gear be
aspect of the truck
unlocked?
should be customizable.
Yeah. Should special gear be unlockable?
Special gear be unlockable.
It
It
says should
it
have been.
could be. You should have options. You could either do it the old school way, fight for it, or you could just say freak it and just type a code so you don't have to go through all that and you just want to get right to it, or you could just buy it or whatever.
Yeah. My
You should
answer
have
was
options.
my answer was yes, achievements and milestones should unlock iconic gloves, shorts, or shoes. All right. This is a something that people like get angry at, but in real life it
37,
does
please.
work. Yeah. This is something that happened in real life that people get angry at me for bringing up. They think it's arcade, but it's not. All right. Should gear affects performance? And my answer is a
Um,
subtle yes. Heavy gloves could reduce speed, lighter gloves slightly reduce power. Realistic, not game breaking. Exactly, because if you get Reyes gloves and then you get other gloves, they're different. People don't realize Reyes gloves are the puncher's gloves. And people like, yo, what you mean, bro? You trying to make gloves better than no, that's how boxing is set up. That's why certain boxers want certain gloves that they choose. The puncher glove and the one that's the heavy glove, different gloves.
yeah, that should be
Yeah.
an option, and they should actually have an option where you can actually turn that off, and you could actually wear that logo and whatever and that brand without actually affecting like the fighter or whatever. They should have that
Yeah.
option where it could be either on or off.
Yeah.
At least they should give us options on that one.
Yeah. All right. Community and sharing. Should players be able to recreate a real life fighter? Yeah, that's a no give to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my answer was yes. Sharing creations online and seeing what others made is a huge part of the fun. Then I'm
Because
gonna go to I'm
I
gonna go
know like with the
to
WWE 2K series when you upload a wrestler into the community creations, you can actually have an option where you could re-upload or no, and you have that option yes or no. But me, when I actually make other people, I say you could re-upload and repost, but just do your custom edits and whatever. And as far as
yeah,
if it's your own, like your official, you could choose not to re-upload or repost, so that way they don't
yeah,
take credit for your work. But other than that, if it's like somebody like a Sunny Liston and stuff, yeah, I say you could repost and re-upload and customize them however you want to customize them and whatever. Because why? He's not licensed by me. Number one, and number two, I I don't own his I don't own his likeness. The only likeness I own is the one that I create of my custom fighters. That's it. But if it's somebody like a professional boxer or a fictional boxer from a different video game, like a Haji no Ippo or all that stuff, I put repost. Why? Because I don't own their freaking rights
yeah,
at all. I just say re-upload and repost. Enjoy. There's some people that are stingy that act like they own the rights to that, but they don't really
yeah.
on the
Yeah.
2K creations. And I don't be doing that. I'm not that type of guy. I didn't even get a chance to get WWE 2K25 because, in my humble opinion, wrestling games should be out every 3 years instead of every year because wrestling
Yeah.
games are not as popular as they used to be. Because I
Right.
would rather get a wrestling game that's really, really good where I could keep playing it and keep updating and whatnot and keep getting more moves and more creation stuff than to freaking buy a game every freaking year. I can't do that.
Check this out. Hey, Pat, check this out. Country Boy told me to ask you a question. He said, Poetic Drake to you, ask Pat how often he gets flash knockdowns. Does he ever get flash knockdown with Morrison? I never get flash knockdown with Morrison. I find that absurd.
Well, as far as like, you know, like I don't really play with like the licensed boxers. I just make my own boxes, just fight the league with my custom boxers. But like I say, if I were like to do like a league just for real boxes, of course I'm gonna get a flash knockdown from either fighter I play with. Doesn't matter who it is. If it's anybody, if it's Riddick Bowe, or if it's Tommy Morrison, or if it's Muhammad Ali, I could get a flash knockdown from with any of those fighters. Any fighter in the game, I could get a flash knockdown with.
Yeah, you're talking about Undisputed.
I'm talking about Undisputed Fight Night or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah,
right,
and Undisputed, I definitely can. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter who it is on Undisputed. Like whoever I play with, I could get a flash knockdown with that person. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I have to go somewhere. All right, give me a
second. All right, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You can hear me?
Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I had to go open the door for somebody. All right, let me see.
No, you're good.
Let me see. All right, community sharing. We started on that one. Should there be an in-game sharing hub? And I said absolutely.
In-game sharing hub, like
absolutely. Fans love to trade creations from legends to original boxes. Yeah, we was talking about that literally.
Like if you're talking about like transferring them over like into different storage files, that's pretty cool too. Like as a memory card or like into the cloud and stuff like that. And that should be also possible too, because you know I miss the days where you actually could back up your characters on a memory card or like on a flash drive. So if like the cloud crashes or the game crashes completely and you lose all your data, you should be able to have a backup of it to be able to re-upload those things without a problem.
Yeah.
Because you have to have a form of data recovery in order to recover your items.
Yeah.
That's my take on it, because I know, because I lost my studio at Hurricane Katrina and I wasn't able to I didn't back up all my shit. And and I was iffy about it for a while.
Yeah, that's something big in the community in general. People love sharing their creations and stuff. So, you know, like you're able to like go on a site and you see the wrestlers the boxers that you want to get. That's how 2K does it too. You could download a whole roster of basketball players and stuff like that. So I think this idea, it would be a great idea for a boxing game.
Absolutely, and the ability to back them up in case if something were to crash, you could actually have a backup of it, because that's big. You know what I'm saying? Data recovery a big thing, and it'd be sucky if you've put in all that work and then you lose it all without having to back it up. It could really take a toll on people, and I don't want that for nobody because it's happened to me before, and I want people to be able to have that option to be able to back up their stuff.
Yeah.
Like on multiple drives, or because the cloud could go to shit, or the physical hard drive of the console could go to shit. As long as you actually have a backup of it, you should be gravy.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah. Should creations be rated by the community? I say yes. A rating system highlights the best and most accurate creations. It pushes people to make better characters. That's what I think about it.
Actually, that's big facts on WWE 2K. They actually have a rating system. You know how many times I've gone diamond? Plenty of times.
Wow.
I've gone diamond plenty of times on creations. Because you have your bronze, you have your silver. No. First you have 10. Then you have bronze. Then you have silver. Then you have gold. Then you have platinum, and then you have diamond.
Oh, okay. All right. Optional advanced features. Should micro adjustments be available? No. Should micro adjustments to abilities be possible? My answer is yes. Punch reach, reaction time, stamina's curves, and per hand accuracy. Yeah, each hand should have their own strength. When we brought that up, that's our idea. Each hand should have their own strength, speed, and everything to it. People don't realize that in real boxing, every hand don't have the same strength, don't have the same speed. Each hand has to have its own stamina and everything. I mean, fatigue and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah, that was our idea that EA took. Let me see.
For real. And they didn't capitalize on it.
Exactly. Should you be able to simulate a boxer's career offline? My answer was yes. I want to tweak stats, simulate fights, and see my fighter evolve realistically. What you think?
That's a yes.
Yeah, because I feel that you should be able to inject yourself in a boxing career at any time, or if you want to, just like NBA 2K, you could sim in and watch the fight take place.
I was gonna mention that. You beat me to it. Like, there's people that be doing like, what if we took LeBron James in a time machine in the '80s and put him in the Bulls, and then we put Jordan in the Clippers and whatever, and simulate the whole career like that. That should be implemented in the boxing game as well.
Yeah, I'll be doing that. I'll be watching the game. I don't play it. I just watch it and see how it plays out. Let me see. Should you recreate legacy matches with created boxers? I say yes. I want to stage classic matchups and see. We literally just talking about this. I say yes. I want to stage classic matchups to see how they play out with my creation. We talked about it. We don't even got to talk about this no more. That part no more. Should animation customization be tied to fighting styles? I think we talked about that part. And I say yes, to make each boxer visually. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know how I got that repeat. All right, let me see. The ultimate creation mode should look like it should have. You should be able to create a box. It should be fast to enter, deep only if you want it, honest to boxing, scalability across career stages, separate for offline versus online balance. You should have career paths. Um, you should have an easy, quick creation mode. Yeah, this a lot of stuff because I got too deep and I think I like overdid it with these some of the stuff I was gonna talk about. But I
Oh
think
yeah,
we like
if they're talking about like a quick creation, if they're
yeah,
talking about like a quick creation, like you're talking about templates, like let's say if there's somebody that didn't make it in
yeah,
the game, but they actually have their template of how their
yeah.
style is, their look, and their tendencies without the actual name. The Erecting series had that. King of Colosseum 2 had that, and it should be implemented if it's done the right way.
All right. We were talking about the creative boxing mode. Now let's talk about the creation suite. And when I say creation
Yeah,
suite,
like
I'm
the
talking
arenas
about
and stuff like that.
the promoter, the manager, the
The arenas
the
too.
gym, yeah, arenas,
That
all
too.
that. Yeah, so we should have things like that. We should almost make our own ecosystem for a boxing thing, and people can download what we create. That will keep the community going for like almost ever.
For real. That right there will be freaking lit. Like let's say if I create an arena and I create it like in like the hood, and then I put the ring is set up like it's like a cage, right? Like a six
Yeah,
foot or 7 foot cage. And when you're like up against the cage and you're getting hit in the face, the back of your head hits the cage. It also gives more of effect of how you gotta take more damage and stuff, kind of like a Def Jam Vendetta, like Y kind of deal in like the wrestling games. If
yeah,
like the back of your head hits the cage, it should be able to affect you too, because that actually speeds up the process of you getting knocked down or out. Because that's steel we're talking about, or wood, or whatever the thing that you made the cage out of in that
yeah.
ring.
There's so much they could do
It
for
should
us,
be
like
like,
letting people. Yeah, there's so much they could do about. I mean, letting people create stuff because they could actually help them. Like you creating all these arenas and people download it, it's keeping your game alive. Or you creating all these different aspects of your game, like the promoter, the belts, and all these things can help the game. And I had a section I was going to talk about with the hairstyles, but I was like, we'll be here forever.
yeah, I want to get into the hairstyles.
Oh, all right, you want to do it? Let me
Oh
see.
yeah, that's good.
All right, let me see. Cause I'm gonna skip over this other part because this other part would take us like a 2 hours. 2 hours. So I'm not gonna deal with that. I'm gonna deal with the hairstyles. Let me see. Let me see. Where did I put it at? We don't. I really don't need a what's going to talk about the hairstyle. We don't really need the blueprint. We just talk about like every hairstyle should be represented in a boxing game. Like dreadlocks, different styles, different lengths, afros, flat tops, curly
Braids,
tops,
mullets,
the
long hairs,
the yeah,
ponytails,
like
depending if it's
flat.
straight, silky, curly or puffy or whatever.
Yeah,
Wigs. What else? Mohawks, no hawks, the grown man cut, the double mohawk, the
the
triple
bowl cut,
mohawk,
the
um,
bowl cut.
the soup bowl cut. Yeah, definitely the bob cut, um, and also like the beehive hairstyles for like the females. and stuff, and also like different facial hairstyles as well, and different eyebrow styles and body hairstyles from like the arms, the legs, the back, the shoulders, and the chest and abdomen area. You should be able to have different hairstyles for that too. All that should be in place. And actually scars as well. Like if you have like a scar like on your face, it should affect like how the way your beard looks. Because when you have a full blown beard, that scar overlaps the beard in a way where that hair doesn't grow in that particular part to make the creation unique. Same thing with the hairstyle.
Yeah, you should be able to put hair on the person's chest, back, different things, because people, they had that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of covered that. I'm gonna put this on my voice on my blog, so developers could see it. I'm getting a lot of attention now on my blog. Like I think I got almost 2,000 people that's just looking at the blog on LinkedIn. So
nice.
Is there anything you want to leave us with? Far as with this.
What about the game mode?
Yeah, about the modes and stuff. Anything extra that you think that we
like
forgot or didn't?
Like you should actually customize the rules in the game mode. Like not everybody's gonna want referee stoppage.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie. That one mode I do like in Undisputed, that was a hidden mode, was that sudden death mode. Now you keep fighting like forever until somebody gets knocked out completely. That should be a mode by itself.
But you know where they got that from, right?
Where they got it from?
They got that. That's EA had that. Remember we had that mode that you just keep fighting. You knock down, get up, knock down, get up. Because that's old school rules. That's old school. That's hard hit, right?
No, that was hard hits mode that you're talking about. But what I was talking about in Undisputed, and me and Country Boy talked about a while back, that when you're playing around and like let's say the game glitches and the round ends, right? And you keep fighting forever. And until somebody gets knocked out completely. I've had that happen a lot of times. I got a lot of recordings for that on my PS5. And I'll upload them on my TikTok pretty soon. And whatchamacallit. That right there, that mode struck gold to me, man. I felt like that sudden death mode should be just a one-round thing. It's just going all out until somebody gets knocked out completely. Like you're fighting forever kind of deal. That was like the thing that saved the game to me a bit in a way. When they did that new patch, it's not available no more. But before that, Poetic, we had some bangers. Oh man, me and my brothers, we had some bangers with that sudden death mode.
Wow.
That should be a mode by itself. I love that mode.
Yeah. Country Boy said, "There's footage of Jeff Mayweather and Casimir Ure calling Morrison a legend, though." And Boxing Lounge said, "His left hook was legendary. Shame about his chin, though." Yo, you really said that. Oh man.
Even though, but I will tell you something about Tommy Morrison. At least he was 2-time world champion. He was the WBO champion. He was the IBC champion. So he's a legend, and he was a 2-time world heavyweight champion. So nobody can take that away from him.
Yeah.
Whatever anybody wants to say about him too.
Facts. Let me see. Yeah, I guess that's the gist of the show. I think I'm trying to get off so I can write some more ideas because you gave me some ideas I want to deal with. But Yeah, you know, we had a decent show. I wish that more people had came on. It's like people be scared to
Yeah,
get
most
on.
definitely.
They don't, like I be telling them, they don't have to talk. I mean, they don't have to come on camera. They could just talk. You know,
Yeah,
maybe we
for
have
real.
another. Maybe we have another show sometime. You know, when I get people that's not scared to want to come on the show and we have a better discussion. Yeah, but I appreciate you coming through, Pat.
Oh, most definitely. There's customizations. I want customizations to be great for a boxing game because the thing is, what I want from a boxing game, is I want to treat the boxing games like I treat a wrestling game. Like I want to have a full blown federation and run tournaments and all type of stuff because I
Yeah,
want all my modes in there. I want all the customization stuff in there, and I want the realism aspect of it too. And I want
yeah,
them to give us options. You know.
yeah.
There's some
We
people
need a
that may end up liking the no disqualification type fights. It'd be fun sometimes.
yeah, yeah. We should definitely have options. I that's one thing I said. You know, even the you know, casual, hardcore, whatever. As long as we just have options. I'm not against options. Yeah, I could be super over the top with being hardcore mentality, but you know, I've always been for everybody in the community. That's one thing nobody can say. I've always been for the community. Everybody had their own options. Yeah, so all right, Pap. I'm about to end the show. I appreciate you coming through. Pap is one of the OGs from the
Appreciate
Wish
you.
List Mafia. I appreciate them for coming through. I wish the rest of the Wish List Mafia show up someday so we could get, you know, have a great show, reminisce and everything. But, you know, it's like me and Pap holding it down for the Wish List Mafia. But, you know, I appreciate you, brother.
Yep.
And
Appreciate you, brother.
all right, to the next show. Peace.
Peace.